Hello, Sharaf. So, welcome back to this episode. So, this is our third episode on conflict resolution, and I'm really glad to host you here as a
Yes.
really expert of conflict resolution. So, today, what will we be talking about?
Well, I would love to talk today about the values and how people and how conflicts actually arise from different perceptions on values and how culture play a role in this.
Yeah.
And actually, how conflicting values sometimes or the conflict around value create some polarities in the workplace. So let's talk about values and culture and how it plays a role in
All right.
conflicts that happen in the workplace.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, what are the values that you would see being in contradiction at work?
Well, actually, the same value itself may bring in a polarity. It's not actually values. I believe that in this word that Richard Barrett is coming with, which in which he says, values unite, beliefs separate. So it's how we actually believe this value, how it is expressed
Yeah.
in the workplace. So actually, for instance, if we all have a value of growth, and
Yeah.
actually how I'm a partner in a company and we shared a value of growth and we didn't speak
Yeah.
about what growth means to me and what growth means to the other partners. One
Yeah.
of the partners is actually looking at growth is expanding in the same vertical. We are specialized in this and we will keep digging and
All right.
keeping our growth in a place where we are actually taking the peak of this vertical, while the other
Okay.
partner is looking that our growth means geographical. We want to
All
go
right.
into new
Okay.
geographies and actually, so that here the belief of the value of growth itself may create a polarity between somebody who wants to get more specialized and bring the biggest niche and the best in class in this vertical, and the other one is looking for selling cross selling in different geographical areas and different places. And
Yeah.
this and somebody one of it may be another third partner who's looking to growth. That means in other verticals we grow, we have established our place here and we want to grow by increasing our value propositions and our specializations. So the same
Okay.
value itself has now not only a polarity, it has three different meanings. And
Okay.
actually this in a way, if it was not actually discussed on a deeper level when it comes to the partnership itself and establishing the organization and expressing the value of growth, there may be a lot of conflicts.
Okay.
It's the behaviors that come in with each and every belief about growth that comes
Yeah.
in from the three different perspectives will be different.
All right. Okay.
So
So,
this one who is actually looking at, yeah,
yeah, I
okay,
understand
go
that.
ahead. You want to ask something?
Yeah, I was really wondering, we're talking about values and we're talking about beliefs. You said, well, values unite, beliefs separate. Okay. What is the
Yes.
difference that you're making between values and belief?
Okay. Values actually, as I understand, and maybe was actually coming in from our teachers and mentors, they are actually energetical aspirations that we are actually looking for, and it means something for us. And actually,
Yeah.
from time to time, and from year to year, and from moment to moment, our values may differ. However, we have some
Yeah.
core values that are really important for us each and every time that actually shaped our existence, our essence. Like for instance, if we look at somebody who has something like a core value that has been with him since he was young until now, for instance, being creative, somebody who's being more cautious, somebody who's being image focused,
Yeah.
somebody who's, so this is called a core value. And
All
at
right.
each and every stage, at some moment of time, he cherished and valued creating friendships. At other part of his life, he valued actually having a good work and his self-esteem. And actually, at some
Okay.
other point of his life, he actually valued actually transforming and getting into a better, shape or better understanding of himself. So, so there are some spouse values that go on as people grow,
All
and
right.
there are some core values that exist with them as they are moving. Same for
Okay.
organizations. Organizations also have some core values that can never be changed. Like for instance, if we look at a bank, It will always seek the value of financial stability, security. Actually, it has to be very, that security is a big value in financial institutions. It has to be always a core value,
All right.
and the confidentiality of information of the clients. So in a way, other values that can come in, like leadership values, different responses to environment, different stages that the bank itself or the financial institution is taking throughout the lifetime, will actually differ from time to time, and it has to be focused by the leadership. What are our core values, and what are our values that actually need to be changed from time to time? Relooked at.
Yeah, I suppose that beliefs can also derive from certain values. So we're very clear now about the values, and thanks for clarifying that. What about the beliefs? How do you differentiate them from the values?
So how I understand this value, it's a mental representation of when I achieve this value is achieved for me. So this is how it looks, So it is more of a conviction, an internal model, an internal map of how this value is expressed. So we took the example of maybe we took the example of growth, for instance, between three different partners. We may relate to openness, for instance. Is openness means that I can talk about my personal life? Is it about talking about my emotions? Is it about my thoughts about work? Is it about confidential information at the organization? Will we talk about maybe sharing financial information, sharing our salaries? So at each organization, there is a different. The value of openness is important, but what is subject and what behaviors are explicitly, understood that these are our beliefs, and these are the behavioral standards that come out of these beliefs, that we understand this value of openness about. So actually,
often.
So I may actually come in as an open person, down to earth. I like to talk about different things, but when somebody talks about something that is too personal, too intimate, I may get triggered. That comes in from my belief that this shouldn't be subject to the value of openness. You are open.
Okay, I see what you're saying. So
you
meaning
for me, I can't.
Yeah, for each of us, I guess, put a different meaning into values. Okay, openness might mean something for someone and mean something different for someone else. I'm just wondering, we all observe that sometimes in organizations, people join because they really believe to the value chart of that company, and then probably there's a kind of a misunderstanding, and potentially then there's a certain distance now that grows between that person and the company. And you see people having really internal conflicts versus values. So how do you understand and help people on that?
Okay, that's a very powerful question. Thank you, Christine. And it's really something that let me actually, at earlier stages of my life, leave organizations. When you see, the promoted values, it's very attractive. I want to work in this place. It's act as if you are an owner of this place, or something like coming in, landing like that. We have the value of openness. We have the value of cherishing people, understanding the value of empathy, companionship and friendship, and maybe you have this family understand. This is, this can be true for some people who actually are enjoying this, matching to their belief system and matching to their, perception inside the organization. Sometimes these values are not propagated to the periphery of the organization, like it's practiced in the core between the leadership team. Whenever you are closer to the leader and of the headquarters, you can enjoy having these values. When you are actually just a new person, with a junior or new joiner or something that's maybe in a regional office or in another office, you don't see this value because actually it's not expressed there, it's not fulfilled there. So you find out that the organization is promoting values that they cannot maintain across its peripheries. So the experience of the new employee or the new joiner may come in, this is hypocrisy. This is complete hypocrisy. This is not actually what I joined for. I joined this organization because I hear that they have this and this and this, and here I'm not enjoying anything. These are not these are irrespectable companies. While I'm while working with leaders and owners of the company, they have wishful thinking that what they see inside their center of existence, what they see around them, is really found everywhere in the organization. But I can say it is wishful thinking, because actually it was not intentionally propagated. Putting focus on propagating values and actually training people of what culture is, what they have to do, what they don't have to do, and putting this intentionally and putting energy in driving these values to the periphery, so that the newcomers can enjoy this kind of values and live it once they join the organization. They will become the first advocates that this company walks the talk.
Yeah, for sure. And when you think about conflicting kind of values, or these, let's say, misalignment, in terms of values, sometimes it's between people and the company. Sometimes those are also conflicting values from the company. Let's talk about a company that would, on the one hand, promote sustainability, on the other hand, innovation. And what if the new innovations might hurt or damage the sustainability? Have you ever experienced that kind of situation, and how did you work on that?
Well, that's a very good question, and actually it always happens all the time. Even if it is on the same value, but this example with sustainability and innovation is a real expressive one. Actually, working with organizations that actually want sustainability, most of the beliefs around sustainability is maintaining a market presence, revenues, having security, having higher quality, engaging more the clients, having sustainable quality of service. So here, the quality of service and the performance of the offering is really under question. So we're looking at what kind of thing that we can do repeatedly, with consistent quality, with good actually customer feedback, and we are actually we are positioned that we are gurus in this, and this is where our value exchange is happening with our clients. And this is actually to maintain this, you have to lower the risk of having a dissatisfied customer, or lowering the risk that you get something like a product or a service or a value proposition that may come back at your face.
Sure.
So this is something that is totally against innovation, because actually innovation comes in, whenever you start an innovation process, you start a new product, you test it. In the testing, always new things are always very dumb and full when it comes in the beginning. It's very awkward. It's full of awkwardness, full of youngness, full of naivety. Like babies. Babies are very awkward, but they're lovable. So in a way, when you have a new product, it's always not yet tested enough, not yet fully understood and comprehended by the clients. The clients yet don't understand how to take the full value exchange of the same service or offering. So they come back at you, telling, how can I make use of this product? I bought this product and it is not working well. It has many challenges, and the customer support teams and service organizations are coming back to you with questions that are unanswered in the innovation team. How can we support this? We don't know even the procedure, how it works. So normally, when you have a new product that's not yet fully tested and not yet, took the customer feedback and did it, you did get it. So in a way, to match between both of them, between innovation, to try new things, and sustainability, you need to put some good measures on the time to market, on how to name things like a beta thing, a beta testing, trying it in closer circles, and putting steps to mature the product life cycle, to make it in a good quality to go to market, and taking back, with the service team, putting some special task force to take back the heat of the newness of how to support such a product or service or solution. So in a way, the balance you have to make by that is something that we do with something called a polarity map. That's something that was actually promoted by the polarity partners. and actually, I believe it's their copyright, and I believe it's a real, powerful tool to talk about polarities. So I believe
So
that this
what
is
is
something that
how does it work in terms of you said, well, this is a polarity map. So what do we see on that map? We cannot hear you any longer. I'm not sure. It seems that you have a palm of connection. So if I just try to sum up what we said so far. So we said that, well, we can have some conflicts between values, especially because we do not put the same meaning behind the values. Sometimes we have some beliefs, okay, that are attached to the values, but that do not really serve those values, and that also creates kind of conflicts. Often in companies there are some promoted values, and those promoted values do not really help us to they are really meaningful, but on the one hand, but on the other hand, what happens is that sometimes they're not really, let's say, people do not walk the talk, or the company does not walk the talk. And this creates as well some potential conflicts and people and issues of retention. Another point that we've just seen today is the fact that sustainability leads to standard and repeatable standard of quality, while innovation so bring its own part of risk. So while talking about all those risks, for sure, risk can be also a factor of conflicts. Therefore, I think that at the moment we simply have a small issue of connection. So what I get is that we're gonna just stop here, okay, and we'll be very happy to start again this episode and reprogram it another day. Thanks a lot. Bye.